For our viewers who may be unfamiliar, what is the Possible Zone and how did you first get involved?
So the Possible Zone is a program that essentially gives students the tools and knowledge that they need to be entrepreneurs one day. So I first got involved in high school when I was going to City on the Hill before I transferred to Boston Arts Academy. And so they came there, they did a short interview of what the business was and stuff, and I was instantly hooked. I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So I signed up, and then it was in Cambridge at that time, so I had to shoot from Dudley all the way to Cambridge after school every day, but it was worth it. So.
I love that. And it's definitely fueled by a lot of passionate young people who are serious about their future. What types of services and programs are offered at TPZ and who is it for?
I guess the service is largely towards the community. They're really trying to get the community involved more now. So the space is crazy on Heath Street, 31 Heath Street, the building, the space is crazy. So they're opening it up to the community, different members now to also come and share and use the space. But a lot of the services are built around really helping high school students after school to have a space to come and absorb this knowledge and really teach them how to be entrepreneurs one day, which is really cool. So. Yeah.
And the Possible Zone has evolved since its beginnings in 2009. What changes have you seen since your time as a student entrepreneur to your current role as an assistant educator and makerspace expert?
Yeah, so a lot of changes, right? So one, the makerspace used to be separated from the teaching space at the Possible Zone. So we used to have to leave the building to go to another building for the makerspace, or we had setup days where we had class at one building, then go to the other building for makerspace. Now it's all compacted into this one building, so there's classrooms and there's the Fab Lab, which is crazy. There's a bunch of technology and stuff down there, so that's one big change. Everything's in-house now. There's no having to go to a bunch of different places, and the class structure is a little different now. So back when I was first in the Possible Zone, when I was in high school, it was also called the Possible Project back then, so that's a change as well. But it was way more Shark Tank focused, so it's kind of we come in, you eventually have your business idea, you learn how to pitch that idea, and then you finally pitched it, and you earn money for your business essentially. So way more Shark Tank based, but now it's a little more class structure, teaching the students the skills and the knowledge that they need, and then the business side comes in a little more later. Yeah.
And I know there's a summer program that's going on right now. What does a typical day look like for the average participant?
So the summer classes are pretty busy. So I believe students come in the morning, and there's a class in the morning, and then there's a class in the afternoon. So I'm more involved in the afternoon classes right now, so because those are more makerspace involved. So early in the summer, for example, we had crazy classes where Converse was actually coming in. So there was two different sessions. There was the shoe customizing session. So Converse came in, they were teaching the students how to customize their own shoe, but also giving them the knowledge behind how they run their TikTok, how they do all the business and fashion related things that they do to get their shoes out there. So giving the students that knowledge at such a young age was really cool. But then they actually got to physically create their own and customize their own Converse, which was really sick. They also got to go to the C4 makerspace and see samples and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then the second half of it was more clothes and apparel based. So the Converse taught the students how they go about coming up with apparel designs and putting together their launches for clothes and things like that. So students all got together and got to customize their own t-shirts in that class. So it's really cool. The classes are really hands-on, really innovative. Right now, the class is focused on apparel and meshing that with technology, and students have been really liking this class. I think even a little bit more than the Converse class, which is kind of surprising. So.
Interesting. And you've mentioned the makerspace a few times. Can you share a little bit more about what it is, what it's like, how the students engage with it?
The makerspace is definitely my favorite place in the whole building, because there's so many options, so many things to do. There's a wood making lab, there's 3D printers, there's laser cutters, there's the DTG, which definitely a student favorite, the direct to garment printer. So any design or anything you could imagine printing on a shirt, you can do in minutes with the DTG. So it's a really cool space. Students have access to it with classes. They can also schedule studio time on Fridays, I believe. We even have different like co-workers and stuff who also come down and utilize the makerspace. So there's endless opportunities. Like there's so many different things down there that you can tinker with and like come up with different things to work on. So the makerspace is really amazing. Like the best way to like understand it is to like somehow schedule a tour at the Possible Zone and come down and check it out and just see it in action because it's pretty cool.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
So what's really great, the Possible Zone is right here in Roxbury, very close to Jackson Square Station. Can you talk about why is it important to teach young people entrepreneurship skills, particularly young people of color?
For me personally, I feel like it gives, especially if you come from like the backgrounds I come from, like neighborhoods that don't always have the best opportunities and stuff for youth. It really like teaching people like me the kind of things the Possible Zone is teaching, just showing you a different outlet and different things that you can do. Like if college was never in your mindset, like if you know personally like that's not a route that you see yourself partaking in, like seeing how you can be an entrepreneur so young and seeing like the possibilities that are out there and really grasping that really opened up a door for me and showed me that like college wasn't the only route that I had to take in order to live like a successful and fulfilling life. So.
And what's really great is that a lot of the students, they go on, they have really wonderful creative careers. Some like yourself come back to help the next generation. How has your time as a Possible Zone fellow shaped you and your career?
Definitely being a fellow, the biggest part was like, because for me, I've always been creative first, so I've always like been driven by like the designs I wanted to make or the ideas that I had, which can sometimes like hold back the business aspect of being an entrepreneur. So like being a fellow really opened up doors for me to talk to the right people to help me like shape the business side of my brand. But aside from that, being a mentor and giving back has really been fulfilling for me, because that's also like as a young person what helped me get to where I am was having mentorship and having like other people to help guide me and stay on the right paths. So like being a mentor for a bunch of young people, like coming in, seeing them smile, like seeing them like actively looking forward to seeing you every day is really cool too. So plus I have like 3 little sisters at home, so I'm used to the kind of like the mentorship and like being the one that, you know, you got to set a good example type thing. So.
Yeah, and you're setting a great example for them. So your brand, your business, Dorsey Atelier is your fashion line. Can you share the inspiration behind it and how the Possible Zone prepared you for some of the challenges that you've faced as an entrepreneur? Yeah,
so Dorsey Atelier was definitely the biggest inspiration is my mom actually. So Dorsey being my mom's first name, she was like the first person to ever like push me in my artistic endeavors and like see that I had an interest for art, like from hanging up drawings of my like box cars and stuff on the fridge and like seeing that I really like fashion. So showing me like different artists and stuff to like look up to their fashion and help shape my wardrobe. So my mom's definitely the big inspiration behind my brand and kind of like paying an homage to her and like leaving a legacy behind for her. So yeah, that's the big inspiration behind my brand. And the challenges that the Possible Zones helped me with, like I said earlier, definitely the business side, because I'm always creative first. Like I want to design for this, or I want to like invoke these emotions or these feelings, or like I want to do this crazy project that might take forever. So really honing that in, holding that artistic like creativity in a little bit, and paying attention to the business and like what comes first, like what do we have the time to do and like what orders I have to get out, and just like speaking with you earlier, like paying attention to dates and things of importance, like all those different factors that go into running a business. Those are the challenges that they really help me to like be able to face now.
And what are you most proud of the work that's happening at the Possible Zone?
Definitely how they're giving back to the community now. So like I said, when I was younger, they were in Cambridge, but now that they're stationed like in the middle of Roxbury, the way that they're giving back to the community and not just like moving in and like this is our headquarters now and everybody else is closed out, like they're inviting people in to use the space. So I'm really proud of that they're not gatekeeping, they're really like opening up their space for other people to come and take a part of. So that's cool.
Awesome. And what's next on the horizon for the Possible Zone?
For the Possible Zone, I believe they just want to continue to get more students in the doors, showing more students the opportunities and stuff that they can have in a program like the Possible Zone, and teaching more young people to be entrepreneurs and kind of like self-leaders. So I think that's really the focus right now, is just getting more students in the doors and like really making sure that they take advantage of the program.